Hi, in this video I want to talk to you about natural support for high blood pressure. Now if you haven't seen our causes of high blood pressure video, you may want to check that out first, but otherwise let's get started. Hi, this is Dr. Joe with 2 Minutes to Better Health. Well, high blood pressure, over 100 million Americans have this. It's a big deal. What are we going to do to try to support it naturally? All right, so we talked about the heart pump strength. If it's weak, it's going to have an elevated blood pressure. So what do we want to do to decrease that? Well, first of all, exercise and movement are huge. They're good for all muscles in the body. The heart is a muscle. The stronger it is, the more its ability to pump is going to increase. It's going to help lessen the blood pressure with every pump of the heart. Blood volume is huge. So a lot of people talk about consuming too much sodium. That's obviously not a good thing. You don't want to have canned soup that is like thousands of milligrams of sodium. However, the bigger issue is more people don't consume enough potassium. So ultimately you want to consume potassium-rich foods, beet greens, yams, spinach, kale, Brussels sprouts, avocado. Upwards of 4,700 to 5,000 milligrams a day is needed. It's a pretty fair amount. Most people do not get this. So if you have a higher potassium to sodium level, that's going to decrease the amount of volume of blood because it's just not going to retain as much of that unnecessary fluid in the blood and therefore decrease blood pressure naturally. All right, blood thickness. This is a huge thing. So if the blood is thick, it's not going to flow well, so there will be more pressure in the system. So ultimately, hydration is key for this, okay? Upwards of 6 to 8, glasses of water per day on average for most people. Live whole foods have a lot of that in it, green leafy vegetables, things like that. But also fish oil, flax oil, things like that are very important to help keep blood thinner. A lot of people take blood thinners like aspirin and stuff by their doctor's recommendations. Of course, listen to them. However, there are natural ways to do that. Fish oil is fantastic to help thin the blood. A lot of research on that. Turmeric, boswellia, those are very anti-inflammatory herbal foods, anti-inflammatory foods in general. Google that to see what those are. But consuming less sugar and processed foods is key to keep inflammation down, which will help to keep the blood thinner. All right, we have blood vessel diameter. This is important. If it's too narrow and there's a lot of stress in the body, then there's going to be an increase in the blood pressure. Decreasing stress is huge. Deep breathing exercises are fantastic. It helps to lower blood pressure in part because you're increasing oxygen into the body, so you don't need as much blood to travel to the areas because the oxygen is one of the main carriers of things in the blood. But ultimately, it helps to lessen the amount of stress in the body, and that's huge for the body. Blood vessel length, that's huge. The biggest thing, folks, is losing weight. If you lose 5 or 10 pounds alone, massive decrease in the amount of blood length that you need because there's not nearly as much tissue in the body. 5 or 10 pounds of fat is a pretty substantial amount of body tissue, so those blood vessels start to decrease the amount of them, therefore blood pressure goes down. Now we have blood vessel resistance. This is a big thing. Arteriosclerosis, hardening of the arteries. A lot of that has to do with excessive amounts of sugar in the body, which is huge. So more sugar, you're going to harden those arteries, increase blood pressure. But also food form vitamin C is important, and collagen and omega-3s. Those are crucial for the blood vessels to be well supported and to be stronger and more flexible. So with every heartbeat, the blood vessels will hold that, and then there will be a little bit of a relaxation of the blood vessel, decreasing the blood pressure significantly. Lastly, congestion in the liver as a filter, the kidneys as well. Detoxification is huge, okay, to get all those toxins out of the body, clean up the liver filter so there's less pressure going through the system. And using natural cleaners, whole foods in general that have less ingredients in them, those are toxic to the body. You want to try to avoid those as much as possible. So please try to apply as many of these things as possible if you're struggling with this. I believe 1 or 2 of these things alone can make a major difference, but definitely take your time, go through these, try to really understand your body, how it works. Okay, if these are affected, these simple changes over there can make dramatic differences for you, friends, and family. So thanks for watching today. We'll see you soon.